The rain had stopped falling, leaving the city wrapped in a silver fog. Emily stood by her apartment window, watching the lights shimmer through the mist. She was 33, quiet and kind-hearted. She worked as a biologist in a small research lab that studied rare plants, and her life had become a routine of silence and unfulfilled dreams. For years, she had carried a secret pain. Doctors had told her that she could never have children. It wasn't the kind of news that broke her all at once. It had shattered her slowly, piece by piece, every time she saw a mother holding her child or heard the laughter of kids in the park. She tried to hide her sadness beneath smiles and small talk, but deep inside, she felt like something precious had been stolen from her before she ever had the chance to hold it. One quiet night, as she worked late in the lab, a strange signal appeared on her computer. It wasn't a typical reading from the greenhouse sensors. The numbers and waves danced across the screen in patterns too complex to be random. Emily frowned and leaned closer. It looked almost like a message, not from Earth, but from somewhere far beyond. She recorded the signal, thinking it was some kind of data interference, but the pattern repeated, rhythmic, deliberate, and almost musical. The next night it returned again, more powerful. It wasn't static or machine noise. It was language, or something trying to be one. Curiosity replaced her fatigue. She fed the data into translation software, trying to make sense of it. After hours of decoding, one word appeared on the screen, a name she had never seen before. Ariel. The signal began to evolve. The next time it came, a faint image flickered across her monitor. A glowing figure surrounded by soft light. It wasn't a clear picture, more like a shimmering outline. The figure seemed feminine, graceful, and radiating a strange warmth. Emily's heart raced. She reached out to the screen, whispering softly, "Who are you?" To her shock, the figure tilted her head slightly, as if she could hear her. Then a voice, smooth and melodic, filled the room. "Can you hear me?" Emily froze. Her breath caught in her throat. "Yes," she whispered. "I can hear you." "Who are you?" "My name is Princess Ariel of the Luminara," the voice said. "I did not mean to intrude on your world. My ship is damaged. I reached for any mind strong enough to hear." Emily could hardly believe what she was hearing. An alien princess? A voice from another world? It sounded impossible, yet something about Ariel's tone was calm and real. The voice carried emotion, fear, hope, and an odd kind of sadness that matched Emily's own. Over the next few days, they spoke often. Ariel explained that her people traveled the stars not to conquer, but to learn and to heal. They could move between worlds through waves of energy and light. But an accident during her journey had stranded her far from her people, and her connection to her body was weakening. Emily listened with awe, asking questions about Luminara, the city of light, the oceans of clouds, and the forests that sang. Ariel described her home like poetry, each word filled with longing. Emily found herself drawn to her voice. The loneliness she had carried for so long began to fade, replaced by a new warmth. One evening, the light that formed Ariel's image grew brighter. "Emily," she said softly, "you carry a sadness inside you. I can feel it through the energy that connects us." "Why do you hide it?" Emily hesitated. "It's nothing," she lied. Ariel smiled gently. "Your heart trembles when you lie. You are strong, but you ache for something you believe can never be." Tears welled in Emily's eyes. "I can't have children," she whispered.
"It's something I've had to live with."
"Something I'll never stop wishing for." Ariel's light pulsed softly. "On my world," she said, "life is not bound by blood alone. Creation is energy, and energy can heal what was once broken. Perhaps what you believe impossible is only waiting for the right touch of light." Emily wanted to believe her. She wanted to believe that some miracle could reach across the stars and change the truth she had lived with for years. But she only smiled faintly. "You sound kind," she said. "But that's not how things work here." "Maybe not yet," Ariel replied. "But the bond between our worlds is growing. You hear me because your mind is open, and when two hearts connect, even light can take form." Days turned into weeks. The signal between them grew stronger. Emily learned to project her thoughts through the device. Sometimes she felt warmth on her skin, like sunlight touching her cheek. It was Ariel reaching through the waves. They shared stories, about childhood dreams, about fear, about the feeling of being alone in a world full of people. Ariel spoke of her duty as a princess, to guide her people and protect life across galaxies. but she confessed she had always felt trapped by her title. Emily, in turn, confessed how she had felt trapped by her body, by what it couldn't do. They were two souls bound by different prisons, finding freedom in each other's words. One night, as Emily sat by her desk, a soft hum filled the room. The air shimmered. The light grew so bright she had to shield her eyes. When she looked again, Ariel wasn't just on the screen. She was standing there, a glowing form, delicate and radiant, half energy and half physical. Emily gasped and stood up. "You're here." Ariel smiled, her eyes luminous like stars. "Only for a moment. The energy field allows me to cross the boundary briefly. I wanted to see you." Emily felt tears fall down her cheeks. "You're beautiful," she whispered. Ariel reached out, her hand glowing faintly. "And you are real," she said. "More real than I imagined." Their hands met, not fully but close enough for Emily to feel warmth, a pulse of life. It wasn't human warmth. It was pure, gentle, filled with kindness. In that touch, Emily felt something stir inside her, not pain but renewal. Ariel looked at her tenderly. "Your body carries light now," she said softly. "I have shared a fragment of my essence with you. It will not harm you. It will heal." Before Emily could speak, the light faded and Ariel vanished, leaving only silence and the faint scent of something sweet, like air after a storm. Days passed. Emily couldn't stop thinking about that night. She felt different and more alive. Her senses were sharper, her dreams clearer. Sometimes she thought she could hear Ariel's voice in her mind, whispering calm words from somewhere far away. Then something impossible happened. During a regular health check at the lab, the medical scanner showed unusual readings from her body. Signs of regeneration, a pattern of energy unlike anything human. The doctor was baffled. "Your system is repairing itself," he said, looking at her in disbelief. "It's like your cells have been reprogrammed." Emily didn't tell anyone about Ariel. She just smiled quietly and went home. That night she stood at her window again, watching the stars. Somewhere out there she knew Ariel was watching too. For the first time in years, Emily didn't feel broken. She didn't feel empty. She felt hope, warm, bright, alive. And deep inside her, a soft glow pulsed beneath her skin, the same light that had touched her that night. She didn't understand it yet, but something new was beginning to grow within her. Something beyond science, beyond fear, beyond anything human. It was the beginning of a bond that would change both their worlds forever. Emily woke the next morning with sunlight pouring across her face. She blinked, feeling strangely rested, her body warm with quiet energy. The memory of Ariel still lingered. Her gentle voice, the soft light that had filled the room, and that final moment when their hands almost touched. It had not been a dream. It was too real. Her heart carried the truth of it. At work, everything felt sharper. The world seemed to hum with new sounds, faint patterns in the wind, tiny movements of leaves, even the pulse of the machines around her. She could feel them all. It was as if life itself had grown louder, clearer. "Emily, are you all right?" her colleague Mark asked, noticing her distant expression. "Yes," she said softly. "I think I've never felt better." She smiled, though her mind was far away. That night she returned home early, her eyes drifting toward the sky again. The stars looked brighter than usual. She sat near her window and whispered, "Ariel, can you hear me?" For a moment there was silence. Then a soft shimmer filled the air, and her computer lit up with the familiar signal. The voice returned, calm, musical, and filled with warmth. "I hear you, Emily." Her heart lifted. "You came back." "I never left," Ariel replied. "Part of my energy remains with you. That is why you feel more alive. The light within you is growing stronger." Emily took a deep breath. "I feel different. My senses, they're sharper. Everything seems connected. What's happening to me?" "You are adapting," Ariel said gently. "When I shared my essence, it began to heal what was broken inside you. Your world's science may not understand it yet, but light can restore what matter has lost. You are not just human anymore. You are something more." Emily's voice trembled. "Something more?" "Yes. You are still you, but part of my world now flows through your veins. It will not harm you. It will only bring balance and strength. You are becoming a bridge between our worlds." Emily felt wonder and fear mingle inside her. She didn't know what it meant to be a bridge, but something deep inside told her this was not an accident. The meeting, the signal, the bond, all of it felt destined. Over the next few days, Emily began noticing small, gentle changes. Plants in her lab reacted to her presence. Flowers that usually bloomed under bright light began to open when she walked near. Injured leaves repaired faster. Even small sick animals in the test area seemed calmer when she approached. Her touch carried warmth that healed. When she told Ariel about it, the princess sounded pleased. "You are learning the ways of the Luminara," she said. "On my world, we heal not through medicine, but through harmony. Every living thing has light inside it. When that light is strengthened, pain fades and life returns." Emily smiled softly. "That sounds beautiful." "It is," Ariel replied. "But beauty can fade if not protected. My world is dying, Emily. The energy fields that sustain us are collapsing. That is why I traveled across galaxies, to find a world that could restore our balance." "Your world holds the answer." Emily's chest tightened. "Earth?" "Yes," Ariel said. "Your planet has pure emotional resonance, love, hope, and compassion. It is something my people have lost over time. Our minds grew strong, but our hearts grew cold. We forgot how to feel." Emily stared at her glowing image. "And you found me because I could still feel." "Yes," Ariel whispered. "You carry both pain and love so deeply that the signal reached you first. You opened the door. A soft silence filled the air." Emily looked at her reflection in the screen. She had spent years believing she was incomplete, broken, unable to give life. And yet now, a being from across the stars saw her as a source of connection and renewal. It was strange and wonderful, like the universe had given her purpose again. As days passed, the connection between them deepened. Ariel's presence grew clearer, her voice more human, her light softer. She began appearing in the room again, not fully physical, but close enough for Emily to see her gentle eyes and silvery hair that flowed like liquid light. Sometimes they talked for hours, about the stars, about dreams, about what it meant to feel human or alien. Ariel would tell stories about her people's traditions, their glowing crystal seas, their harmony with energy and sound. Emily, in turn, shared stories of her childhood, her love for the earth, her loneliness, and her hopes that one day she could create something meaningful. Through these quiet nights, their bond became something deeper, something unspoken. When Emily laughed, Ariel smiled. When Emily cried, Ariel's light dimmed as if she felt it too. One evening, Ariel said softly, "Emily, do you know why I risked contacting your world?" Emily shook her head. "Because your world is dying?" "Yes," Ariel said, "but there was more. I felt a pulse and a cry for life that called across the stars. It came from you." "From me?" "Yes," Ariel continued. "Your sorrow and your strength echoed through the energy fields. It reached me when my ship was lost. I followed it. Your voice without sound, your heart without words. You saved me as much as I saved you." Emily felt tears in her eyes. "I didn't even know I was calling." "Pain always calls," Ariel said gently. "But love answers." They stood there, one made of light, one of flesh. And yet in that moment they understood each other completely. The next morning, Emily woke to a soft pulse in her chest. It wasn't just energy anymore. It was rhythm, like a heartbeat, but not her own. She placed a hand on her abdomen, confused, and felt warmth spreading through her body. She reached for her phone and opened a connection to Ariel. "Something's happening," she said, her voice trembling. Ariel appeared, her glow flickering faintly. "I can feel it too," she whispered. "The energy we shared has taken root. The light has found a new form within you." Emily's heart pounded. "You mean—" Ariel nodded gently. "It is not a child in your world sense. It is life, pure, luminous essence forming in your body. It is a new beginning, created by two worlds joining together." Emily's eyes filled with tears. She could hardly breathe. For years she had lived believing she could never carry life within her. And now, something beyond science, beyond understanding, was growing inside her. "I don't understand how," she whispered. Ariel's light shimmered. "You don't need to understand. Just believe. The universe always finds balance where there is love strong enough to bridge the impossible." Emily placed her hand over her heart. "Is this safe?" "Yes," Ariel said softly. "It will not harm you. It will make you whole. When the time comes, the light will be born, and it will be both of us. The thought was overwhelming, not frightening, but sacred. Emily felt peace settle over her, gentle and sure. Weeks went by. The glow inside her grew stronger. It wasn't visible to others, but she could feel it pulsing like a quiet melody. She continued her work, smiled more often, and spent her nights talking with Ariel. One evening, as the stars glittered above, Ariel appeared more vivid than ever. "Emily," she said, "the time is near. My ship is almost repaired. Soon I must return to my people." Emily felt a pang of sadness. "Will you come back?" Ariel smiled faintly. "I will always be with you. What we have created cannot fade. When I return home, I will take part of your light with me, the light that will save my world. And the part of me within you will remain, growing, shining, giving new life to yours." Emily's eyes filled with tears. "I don't want to lose you." "You will not lose me," Ariel said softly. "You will see me in the stars, in every sunrise, in every life that begins again." The connection pulsed brighter for a moment, then dimmed slowly until only soft light remained. Emily stood alone by her window again, but this time she did not feel empty. Her hands rested gently on her stomach, feeling the faint warmth within. The impossible had become real. The woman who once believed she could never create life now carried the light of two worlds. A promise that love, no matter how far apart, could heal even the deepest void. And somewhere beyond the clouds, far in the silver sea of stars, the alien princess whispered across the distance, "You are never alone, Emily. The light will guide you." Weeks turned into months, and Emily's life began to change in quiet, beautiful ways. The light within her had become part of her heartbeat, a gentle rhythm that pulsed through her every breath. It did not cause her pain or weakness. Instead, it gave her peace. Her skin carried a soft warmth that people noticed but could not explain. Children smiled at her for no reason. Plants turned toward her even without sunlight. Emily often stood by her window at night watching the stars where Ariel had vanished. Though she could no longer see her glowing figure, she could still feel her presence, a whisper inside her thoughts, a song without words that echoed softly in her mind. Sometimes when she closed her eyes, she saw flashes of Ariel's world, oceans made of silver light, forests that glowed like constellations, skies filled with luminous threads that pulsed like living stars. She would wake with tears on her face, missing her deeply, but knowing that their connection was still alive. One evening, Emily sat in the garden behind her building. The air smelled of rain and the earth shimmered faintly. She pressed her hand against the grass and felt the hum of life beneath her palm. Every living thing seemed to respond to her touch. It was as if the planet itself had learned her heartbeat. "You are stronger," Ariel's voice whispered softly inside her. Emily smiled faintly. "You're still here." "I never left," Ariel said. "Our bond is eternal now. My body may be light years away, but my essence remains within you. The energy we share has begun to awaken." "What does that mean?" Emily asked quietly. "The light growing inside you," Ariel explained, "is almost ready to be born. It is more than life, and it is a message from both worlds. When it awakens, it will unite what was once divided." Emily tried to understand, but her human mind struggled to grasp it. Still, she trusted Ariel completely. There was no fear, only love and wonder. In the weeks that followed, Emily began to notice new sensations. Her dreams grew brighter, more vivid. Sometimes she could feel waves of energy passing through her when she touched the ground or stood in the sunlight. Technology around her acted strangely. Lights flickered, machines paused, and the air grew charged whenever she felt strong emotions. Her colleagues noticed the changes too. "Emily," Mark said one day, frowning as the lab's computers flickered again, "ever since you started working here full-time, the sensors have been going wild." "I can't explain it," she smiled softly. "Maybe the lab just needs a bit of magic." Mark laughed. "If you can make these machines behave, I'll believe in magic." Emily said nothing more. How could she tell him that part of her wasn't fully human anymore, that something beautiful and otherworldly was taking shape inside her? That night she returned home and sat quietly in the dark. The glow under her skin was faint but visible now, a soft silver light that pulsed gently through her hands and chest. She wasn't afraid of it anymore. It felt alive, like a small star learning to breathe. "Ariel," she whispered, "it's getting stronger." "I can feel it," came the soft reply. "The light responds to your heart. It will awaken when it knows the world is ready. Emily looked out the window. Will I ever see you again? There was a long pause before Ariel answered. Yes, when the time comes I will return. But for now you must learn to listen, not to me but to the light itself. It carries my spirit and your love. It will guide you. Emily nodded even though tears filled her eyes. I miss you. And I you, Ariel whispered. But distance cannot break what love has woven. You are never alone. Days passed and the world around Emily began to subtly change. People she met seemed to feel calmer near her. Sick animals found strength when she touched them. Even dying plants in the city began to grow again. News spread quietly about the woman of light, though no one knew her name. Some said it was just coincidence, but others believed a miracle was happening. Emily never sought attention. She only smiled and kept helping quietly, one person, one life at a time. One day, while she was walking through a nearby park, a small child fell and scraped her knee. Emily knelt beside her and gently placed her hand over the wound. A soft glow passed from her fingers. The pain faded instantly and the girl looked up in wonder. It doesn't hurt anymore, she said. Emily smiled. Then you should go play again. The child ran off laughing. Emily sat back, feeling tears of joy on her face. Ariel had been right. Love could heal what pain had broken. That night, as she prepared to rest, a sudden flash of light filled her apartment. The air vibrated softly, and for the first time in months she saw Ariel again, her form clear, radiant, more beautiful than ever. Ariel. Emily cried out. The alien princess smiled. The time has come. Emily stood up, her heart pounding. For what? For the birth of the light. The room shimmered as Ariel reached forward. Her hand was warm this time, solid, real. You have carried our creation with grace and courage. It is ready now. Emily felt the glow inside her rising, spreading through her whole body. She didn't feel fear or pain, only warmth and calm. The light gathered in her chest, brighter and brighter until the whole room filled with golden radiance. Ariel's eyes glowed softly. Do not be afraid. This is life becoming form. Emily closed her eyes. She could feel something leaving her, not like loss, but like fulfillment. The light that had lived within her emerged slowly, taking shape in the air before them. It was not a child, but a glowing sphere of pure energy, alive, pulsing with beauty and love. The orb floated gently between them, radiating soft waves that filled the room with peace. Emily and Ariel stood side by side, watching it in awe. It's beautiful, Emily whispered. It is us, Ariel said softly. It is the bridge between Earth and Luminara. Through it, both worlds will learn to heal. The sphere began to rise higher, its glow expanding. Through the window, the night sky seemed to part, revealing a path of light that stretched far into the stars. Ariel turned to Emily. This is where I must take it. My people are waiting. The energy born from your love will restore them, and your world will feel its echo. Harmony will grow stronger here, too. Emily's eyes filled with tears. Will I see you again? Ariel reached out and gently touched her cheek. Look to the stars and I will be there. Our hearts will always meet where light and love become one. The orb floated upward and Ariel followed it, her form turning brighter until she became part of the same radiant glow. The light rose higher and higher until it disappeared into the night sky. Emily stood there long after the glow faded, her heart filled with both sadness and peace. She placed a hand over her heart and smiled faintly. The warmth remained, a quiet reminder that she was never truly alone. Days later, the news spoke of a strange cosmic event. Telescopes had captured a stream of light moving across the sky, connecting distant stars in a pattern never seen before. Scientists couldn't explain it. They called it the Bridge of Hope. Emily knew what it was. She watched it every night, smiling softly. The bridge shimmered in the heavens like a promise, a sign that love had crossed galaxies and created something eternal. Her life returned to normal, but she was no longer the same. The light inside her had settled quietly, a part of her now. She spent her days teaching children about the beauty of the universe and the power of kindness. She healed when she could, smiled often, and lived with gentle strength. Sometimes, when she closed her eyes, she still heard Ariel's voice whispering softly in her heart. The stars are watching. Emily, the light lives on. Emily would smile and look up, her eyes reflecting the glow of distant worlds. She had once believed she could never bring life into the world, but now she knew that life took many forms. And sometimes, the greatest miracle wasn't in what we could see or touch, but in the love that connected two souls across the endless sky. Months passed since Ariel had returned to her world with the radiant orb of energy, and Emily's life had settled into a quiet rhythm. Yet she knew everything had changed. The warmth inside her remained, a living pulse that connected her to a universe far bigger than she had ever imagined. Her heart no longer ached with loneliness or regret. She had been part of something extraordinary, something beyond human understanding, and it had left her with a sense of purpose she could feel in every step. Emily continued her work at the lab, but now she approached life differently. Every plant she nurtured, every small creature she cared for carried a touch of the light Ariel had left within her. Crops in her city's community gardens grew healthier than ever. Sick animals healed faster. Even people who spent time with her reported calmness and clarity in their thoughts. No one understood why, and Emily didn't try to explain. It wasn't science, not yet. It was something new, something alive, quietly weaving its way into the world. One morning, she was walking through a park when she noticed something unusual. A small boy was sitting alone on a bench, his face hidden behind a book. Emily knelt beside him, feeling the familiar hum of life beneath her hands. She reached out, gently placing a hand on his shoulder. The boy froze, then slowly looked up, wide-eyed. "It's okay," Emily said softly. "You're safe." The boy smiled faintly, and in that smile, Emily felt a ripple of recognition. The light within her stirred, reacting to the child's heart. It was as if the energy Ariel had left was awake and ready to reach out, beyond just her own body. She realized something astonishing. The gift wasn't just within her. It could extend to others. Over the following weeks, Emily discovered that her touch could awaken small sparks of light in others. A child recovering from illness, an elderly person regaining strength, a troubled soul finding clarity. It wasn't magic, and it wasn't science in the way humans understood it. It was the energy of life itself, a reminder of connection, love, and hope. Emily smiled often now, her heart lighter than it had ever been. Yet she missed Ariel. She watched the stars nightly, remembering the princess's words. "Look to the stars and I will be there. Our hearts will always meet where light and love become one." One evening, a sudden pulse of energy filled her apartment. The air shimmered with warmth, and Emily felt the familiar hum she had known for so long. She looked up, and for the first time in months, Ariel appeared again. Her form was radiant, fully present this time, glowing softly like dawn light over the horizon. "Emily," Ariel said, her voice carrying the gentle rhythm of the cosmos. "I have returned." Tears filled Emily's eyes. "Ariel, I've missed you so much, and I you," Ariel whispered. "I have come to see the work of the light you carry. Your world has begun to awaken just as I hoped it would. Life is responding. Hearts are opening." Emily reached out, and this time Ariel's hand was solid in hers. It was warm, real, tangible. "I didn't know I could make such a difference," Emily said softly. "You did," Ariel said, smiling. "And it is only the beginning. The energy we share has roots now. Not just in you, but in those whose hearts are ready to receive it. Humanity has begun to see its own potential. They just needed a spark." Emily looked out the window at the city below. People went about their lives, unaware of the gentle glow that now threaded through their world. Yet she felt it, faint, subtle, and alive. Small acts of kindness now carried strength. Moments of compassion rippled farther than anyone could see. It was subtle at first, but Emily knew it would grow. Ariel's glow pulsed in response. Soon they will understand. The light will not replace their efforts, but it will guide them. Humanity has always carried love inside it. Now it will shine brighter. Emily smiled, feeling a surge of hope. "Will you stay?" "I cannot," Ariel said softly. "My people need the orb, the energy we created together. It will restore balance to Luminara. But I will remain with you in every heartbeat, every act of kindness, every life touched by light. You will not be alone." Emily nodded, understanding that their connection transcended distance. "I'll take care of it here," she said. "I'll help others feel it, even if they don't know why." "That is all I could ever ask," Ariel said. "Your courage, your love, your patience, it has made this possible. You believed when nothing seemed possible. That is why the light took form." The glow between them grew, enveloping the room in warmth. Emily could feel the pulse of life extending beyond herself, stretching outward to friends, strangers, and the city itself. It was soft but insistent, a quiet song of renewal and hope. Ariel took Emily's hands in both of hers. "Look at the stars," she whispered. "And you will see me," Emily did. The night sky stretched endlessly above, but this time it seemed alive. Threads of faint light shimmered across the darkness, connecting the stars like delicate silver bridges. Emily knew it was Ariel, and the bond they shared, watching over Earth. Over the next months, Emily dedicated herself to spreading the light in simple ways. She nurtured plants in her city's parks. She taught children about kindness, hope, and curiosity. She comforted the sick and lonely. And everywhere she went, she felt the quiet warmth of Ariel's presence, as if the universe itself was moving with her. One morning, while walking to the lab, she noticed a small group of children gathered around a tree in the park. The tree had been struggling for years, but now its leaves shimmered faintly, glowing in soft hues of gold and green. The children looked up in wonder, touching the bark, smiling at one another. Emily knelt nearby and touched the roots. A gentle pulse ran through her fingertips, and the leaves shivered as if greeting her. "It's alive," one of the children whispered. Emily smiled. "Yes," she said softly. "Life is everywhere if you know how to listen." She realized then that the energy Ariel had shared wasn't just a miracle, it was a lesson. The universe had given her the gift of seeing life's deeper rhythms, and by sharing it, even in small ways, she was helping others awaken to their own capacity for love, hope, and creation. Weeks later, as Emily sat under that same tree at dusk, she felt a familiar pull in her chest, the light responding to Ariel once more. She looked up at the sky, and for a moment the stars shimmered brighter. Ariel's voice, soft and musical, whispered inside her heart, "Emily, you have done well. Life flows through your hands. Humanity's heart beats stronger because of you. And now we are ready for the next step." Emily's eyes filled with tears. "The next step? The world will begin to understand the bond we share," Ariel said. "Small at first, then growing. The light will awaken hearts to compassion and courage. And one day when it is ready, I will return fully, not just in spirit, but to walk beside you once more." Emily's heart soared. She had once believed she could never create life. She had thought her story would end in quiet longing and regret. Now she carried not only hope, but the living pulse of two worlds joined together. Every smile, every act of kindness, every life touched was part of the light. Part of Ariel, part of her, and part of something far greater than either of them alone. The night grew quiet, the city still. Emily rested her hand on her heart and whispered to the stars, "Thank you, Ariel. Thank you for believing in me, for showing me that love can cross the universe." And in that moment she felt it fully. A warmth, gentle and constant, filling her from within. It was the gift of life, of hope, of connection. It was proof that miracles did exist even in the ordinary world. That love, when strong enough, could reach across any distance, overcome any impossibility, and shine brighter than the stars themselves. Emily knew she would never be the same. The woman who had believed she could never have children now held life in its most radiant form, and the bond between her and Ariel was eternal. They were connected by energy, by love, and by the infinite possibilities of the universe. And every night, when Emily looked to the sky, she saw the stars light up with a quiet silver glow. She smiled, knowing that somewhere beyond the clouds the alien princess watched over her, and that together they had changed the world forever.